White gold is it's tough metal. It's not fun to forge. Basically, you're gonna go really, really slowly and increments even more relaxed than what you would normally, even with the softest of we're gonna treat it like it's ultra brittle, even though it's gold. Uh, Unlike other gold alloys, even a 10 carat, which is not really a gold alloy, I don't know why I never use it, but in any capacity. However, 10 carat is easier to work. 14, I'm sorry, 10 carat yellow is usually a little easier to work even in white gold. It's definitely a lot. It's nowhere near as hard to move. Once it's in an unannealed form, bending white gold is really tough. Uh, okay, so this is not something most people ever really do. This is why white gold is almost exclusively in 14 anyway, a casting metal. We're gonna. I got a really old mill. I replaced the handle because the big ones are. I need to feel every movement. If there's a creak, if there's a fatigue, any tiny noise, I need to feel it. So we're gonna just move that down. If we see it move unevenly or starts to bend, that means something is getting hit. And if it starts to curl to one side, that means it's thicker on that side, and that thicker part is moving, and the other side is going through without being hit or applied any pressure to. So you just compensate. I'll show you when we get there. Do it evenly, turn it over, run it through, crank it a little bit. Talking fractions of a full revolution. Maybe 5 or 6 degrees out of 360. And slowly but surely, it will draw out. What I'm doing is not any different from what you should do with any precious metal that you run through a mill. It's just that with white gold, you need to be extra careful. White gold has a tendency to separate out at its edges, it frays. The filler elements that turn it white don't really alloy. It's hard to explain. When you forge it out, you understand what I mean. It doesn't really alloy properly. It's basically the gold is more or less robbing these elements of their color. But that's it. They're uncooperative. Unlike every other gold alloy, which really works in a uniform capacity, this one doesn't. And the gold is, it keeps everything in line. This is, from my perspective, the gold keeps everything in line. It steals the color. But the rest of the elements don't like the gold or each other, and they're constantly trying to get away. It's what it seems like. And in doing so, you get a lot of cracking, a lot of frays. I'll show some pictures and demonstrate what I mean, but you just need to be very careful. Now that's it. Normally you can go with silver, you can go double what I've just done. I'm gonna anneal that, so we'll show you what that's about now. We're going to anneal the gold. With just about any gold, you want to get it to a dull cherry red. Let it sit there for about 20 seconds, and then depending on how soft you want it, quench it. I want it really soft, so we're going to quench it really quickly. We want to freeze the molecules in place. So just to protect it from any nonsense that may get stuck to it, we're going to flux it up. I shouldn't apply the flux while it's on the board or brick. It'll just cause problems later. Try not to use too much, which I really just did, but that's okay. Gold's tough. Once again, I really do not like to solder in anything with the torch. I really want to see what the metal is doing, so we're going to do this in the dark, more or less. Hold on. Darker, anyway. Okay. using oxygen. Not pro and oxygen, we're going to get a bushy flame, not a direct contact flame. Cover it all. Circular motion, heat up the entire piece of metal. Alright, pretty much at the color we like. Keep it there for 30. If you see hot spots developing, adjust and compensate. About 10. Make sure you keep it at the temperature desired. Get everything orderly inside the material. Get the crystalline structure of the metal to line up nice and tightly. 20. 25. Counting slowly. I mean, you can go, the longer is fine. It's don't go too short. And quench. Okay, well, we now have a nicely annealed piece of white gold. Let's put that back through the mill. Now we're going to do that a dozen more times on each side, and then we'll have what we need.